gays and lesbians are good, hard-working individuals. We are, as our bus board says, valued friends and family.
Their colleagues say that if BMHI closes, many patients...
After he left the organization, Besen worked as a political reporter for a CBS affiliate in Maine.
He says he'll give specific details for these plans during his January 23rd State of the State address. Wayne Besen, Channel 5 News, Augusta.
He also brings up that gay people, he says, change, but that's not true. What I think we've seen more of is gay people who said they've changed only to later say they had not changed, and in fact only said that because they believed they were coerced and desperately wanted to be accepted by society. Remember, the very founders of the ex-gay ministries married each other.
You wait a second.
No,
you wait a second. Let me say something here now.
We just talked.
He is the Associate Media Director from the Human Rights Campaign organization in Washington, D.C., which is the largest political gay group in America. Please welcome Wayne Besen.
Hi. Thanks for having me. But you know, these groups have been around for 20 years. There's been no research. They never have statistics, and the reason is because they have a higher defection rate than the Cuban national baseball team left alone at Yankee Stadium. That's
just as Dr. Laura is about to begin her new television program, a syndicated show, what's the problem here?
There's a lot wrong with her. First of all, she is a deep and endless reservoir of misinformation. And the second thing is she goes on her program each day trying to masquerade as a psychologist or a psychiatrist.
No,
when the fact is the doctor in front of her name is for a physiologist.
Wait, wait a minute. Now that is not true.
No more
she has been very forthcoming about that.
Let me finish about
You're wrong.
She has no more credibility on the issue she talks about than Dr. Seuss or Dr. J. Yet you don't hear that from her.
It's not okay to be gay. It will damn the soul and doom the nation that allows it.
Fred Phelps is a walking hate crime.
In Wyoming, another high-profile case has had a surprising twist. The parents of Matthew Shepard, the homosexual student who was murdered, intervene in the sentencing of Aaron McKinley, who was found guilty of the killing.
If there ever was a case for capital punishment, this was it, and that makes the decision of the Shepards all the more remarkable.
Besen has been quoted in publications such as Rolling Stone, The Washington Post, USA Today, and The Advocate.
Recruit people by saying there's hope for change. When you look a little bit closer, there isn't change. It's about a lot of people with ruined lives and shattered dreams.
Desperate for a cure, Wayne and his family tried everything.
This is a tape my parents bought me when they tried to make me straight.
All right, let's give her a listen.
This program is designed to reorient your sexuality. Having sex with a woman is wonderful for you.
When I think, which one's the next Ted Haggard? Which one is the next Senator Larry Craig? Which one's the next Bob Allen? And we know they're there, and we know they're hurting and suffering, these individuals.
In San Francisco over an advertisement for a street fair celebrating sexual diversity. Conservative Christians feel the ad mocks the Last Supper with images of scantily clad men and women in place of Christ and his disciples. Organizers for the fair had this to say, quote, "We hope that people will enjoy the artistry for what it is, nothing more, nothing less." Joining us now from Concerned Women for America, Matt Barber, and Executive Director of TruthWinsOut.org, Wayne Besen. Wayne, I guess I'll start with you. I think you want to defend this.
Well, I think it's clear this is a spoof. If conservatives are worried about how Christianity is portrayed, they'll get Pat Robertson and Ann Coulter off there that do 10,000 times more damage by portraying the religion as mean-spirited than any spoof can do. I'm not sure what they're concerned about. If they don't want to go to this parade, they don't like it, stay home. That's what's great about America. We have freedom of speech and freedom of association. I'm not going. It's not my cup of tea. Right. Why do they complain?
Well, yeah, I think
this violent event. I've known you a long time. If people, you talk about free speech, if people use their free speech rights and they go out and insult people in the gay community and they use that F word or the Q word or they use any insulting word, you'd be offended. You wouldn't like it and you would passionately defend them. I've known you. I've debated you enough over the years, right?
This is an example.
No, wait. You defend. If anyone insults the gay community and use derogatory terms, you would defend. You would absolutely be outraged.
I would, but I don't see this as the case. You know what I see this as? I see this as an adult-themed costume party, number one. Number two, this is demagoguery. They are tired of seeing gay people marrying from Massachusetts to Iowa, serving in the military, and they want to switch the subject because they're tired of the positive images.
Here's the thing. You like free speech, but if people insult the gay community, having debated you over the years, you would be, I would actually agree with you. I would defend your right. I don't want people insulting people. But this is the most holy, one of the most holy events in Christianity, and to mock it this way is insulting. So here's my point to you. You should be consistent. Maybe you don't agree with Christianity, maybe you don't agree. You should say, you know what? I don't want the gay community insulted, nor do I want people's deeply held religious views insulted. Why can't you do that?
Well, it's very clear, because I can see why people might be upset and take it the wrong way, but I think if you look at the intent of the people doing this parade, this is just an adult-themed costume party. It's a lot of people having fun, and it's a bunch of busybodies
and if people come out with equally offensive, words or derogatory names for gays and lesbians, you're going to take that same position. I don't believe it.
Well, first of all, I don't see many spoofs coming out of the right. I see them trying to pass legislation to deny me my equal rights. That's not the same as what's going on here.
All right. Engaging in public sex on the streets of San Francisco.
That's just an exaggeration.
And that is not an exaggeration.
That is an exaggeration.
We've got
Look,
the photographic evidence.
This is no different than Mardi Gras.
I encourage the media.
This is no different than all the swingers clubs.
To be there to cover
what I see is a double standard here.
I don't know anything about it.
This is a double standard of they're attacking gay events just to make gay people look bad, yet they're not going after Mardi Gras.
We gotta go,
but thank you very much.
Thank you.
Wayne Besen, he's the executive director of Truth Wins Out. That's a gay support organization. His organization also argues basically that ex-gay is a myth. All right, Wayne, isn't Barack Obama's tent large enough, though, to handle someone who says he's ex-gay?
Well, first of all, Barack Obama has run a really nice campaign so far. He stayed above the fray. It's somebody I admire. However, when we see him embrace somebody who's an extremist like Donnie McClurkin, it's incredibly dispiriting. It sends the wrong message, and it completely has nothing in common with what we've seen so far with this campaign.
All right, let's talk about Donnie McClurkin's story to get everybody up to speed. He says he was raped by male relatives at the ages of 8 and 13. That turned him toward the gay lifestyle. He says he lived that lifestyle for about 20 years until God delivered him from that lifestyle. So with that said, what makes him an extremist, Wayne?
Well, he's attacked gay people with the ugliest, most crass stereotypes imaginable. He said that we're going to ravage the children. He's declared a, quote, war against us. He said all kinds of terrible things. This man is one of the most anti-gay people imaginable. They're trying to whitewash his past and make him look palatable, but the fact is he's never taken an opportunity not to bash the gay and lesbian community. And what's really heartbreaking is he's still gay himself. This is a person who's just a recloseted homosexual. These so-called ex-gay ministries are nothing but consumer fraud. It's a total hoax, and Truth Wins Out is here to help Donnie McClurkin when he's ready to come out of the closet.
Okay, and again, you don't agree with his message, but who are you to decide? Don't we still have the right to self-determine? Someone who says they are gay, you don't want someone coming in trying to convert or repair that, so who are you to come in and tell Donnie McClurkin that he's not ex-gay?
Well, I wouldn't tell him this if he weren't getting up on stages across this country and spreading his very harmful message that's hurting people. It's causing people to ruin their lives. Who knows how many kids each year commit suicide because they're gay? They hear these terrible messages. They internalize it. We are speaking out against such intolerance that's put forth by Donnie McClurkin. And we're disappointed that the Obama campaign has not stood up to him. Barack Obama missed a really crucial moment, a key moment that he could have shown some leadership and pulled a sister soldier moment and stood up to McClurkin and said, your message is inconsistent with this campaign, and we will not put up with extremism.
Mr. Besen continues to perpetuate the myth that homosexuals can never change and that attempts to change are harmful, even though the most thorough scientific study of that issue has recently been published in a 400-page book, and it showed that, in fact, both of those things are false, that homosexuals can change and it's not harmful.
No, actually, that's just completely distorting the record. The study he's referring to was done by Pat Robertson University. It's an absolute joke, and it's a hoax study, and showed even then that less than 10% of these paid lobbyists and people who were handpicked by Pat Robertson University had supposedly changed. So that's just distorting the record. Furthermore,
Politicians and others are known by who they hang out with, who they associate with. And Barack Obama has made a mistake by associating his campaign, which has so far done a wonderful job of promoting reconciliation. And now they have Donnie McClurkin. It's just inconsistent with his campaign message.